the Child's Play remake. And here's a highlight reel about my thoughts going into it over the course of a few months. Where do I start with this? Okay, so for those of you who like the Chucky series, Child's Play, there's a remake in the works back with MGM. Oh, this pisses me off. This is like, can we stop this shit? Oh, Jesus Christ. This is like, no, I'm not overreacting. Lars Klevberg.
Oh, yeah.
The fuck, man? Why? The Child's Play remake has started production.
We got a photo of Chucky.
See one of his eyes, it's too big. He doesn't look scary.
Dare I say, is Brad Dourif replaceable?
No, fuck that.
I feel you.
This is so fucking ridiculous. Fuck you.
Yes.
So fuck this Chucky movie. I hope it fails. We're talking about Child's Play, that shitty remake. The Child's Play remake trailer. It's dropped, and I might have to eat crow. I might. This looks pretty good, the way it's shot and all. I guess now that I'll take a step back more rationally than just spazzing out like, fuck you, this is a goddamn team.
They have just cast Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky in Child's Play.
It's a good choice.
Dare I say, is Brad Dourif replaceable?
No, fuck that.
I feel you. They have just cast Mark Hamill as the voice of Chucky in Child's Play.
It's a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
It's a great choice.
They impressed the shit out of me. If I end up seeing this and liking this, I'll make a highlight reel of all the horrible, nasty, negative things I've said. And then we'll review it right after that highlight reel. Well, I'm a man of my word, and here we are. And, I'm gonna eat a little bit of crow.
Just a little bit?
I mean, a decent bit, actually.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I thought this movie was pretty alright.
I am in agreement with you.
Yeah.
This movie's pretty good. And it's a testament, and this review and this whole thing that we put together before the review is a testament to how one's opinions of things can evolve.
Yeah, they definitely can. And I thought it was weird you want to know what the weird thing is? I liked this movie, and I kind of don't like that I did.
Yeah.
The reason for that is there was so much different about this than the original Child's Play series, and we kind of knew that going in, but that didn't stop it from being a good movie. When oftentimes when you make changes like that, I would say majority of the time when you make major changes like that, it does affect the overall quality of the final product. So I just don't like that this is going to set the precedent. See, you can make remakes of everything. I mean, as if there aren't enough already. But with horror, I guess, at the end of the day, it's kind of an outlier. And that remakes are generally better than remakes of other genres, usually.
Sure. Obviously, this is not the same Child's Play as the one in 1988.
Yeah.
The Buddy doll is no longer possessed by Charles Lee Ray. It is simply a doll, like Amazon Alexa that's gone haywire.
Right.
And I'll say this much: I appreciated it. I didn't really feel as tied, and I know you're obviously a huge fan of the original. But I thought this played it right in that it was a revisitation of narrative material that it tried neither to completely replicate nor bastardize the original story. Like, yeah, the central conceit is completely different. Chucky's not he's not a person. He's a malfunctioning device. But I think there are several things in this that do remain true to the original. Like, a lot of the family dynamic is the same. Obviously, there's no dad in the picture. There's other things going on with the family dynamic, but
we'll get to some of that in spoilers.
It's just Andy and his mom. Andy's different, but even then, there's still some things involved with the central conceit of what's going on, specifically involved with who trusts Andy and like whether or not Andy is connected to things that Chucky does or whether or not Andy himself is blamed for things that Chucky does. That is straight up like an echoing of what the original Child's Play was. Andy being connected to the murders that Chucky commits in that film too.
That's actually one of the things I thought they did kind of a shitty job of. Without explaining too much, Andy isn't really considered a number one suspect right away.
No.
And I think this, you know what I would say? The overall story of this movie is very strong. Mm-hmm. I like the idea of a haywire device, and I kind of liked that they did a really good job of exploring AI and what AI is actually.
Yeah, I agree.
So that was really well done, but there's just little things in the final script, I guess you could say, that just kind of didn't work. And that was one of them that I actually kind of didn't like. I thought that the Andy situation in relation to the murders wasn't really handled. It was kind of sloppy.
Well, it's not as good.
It's not as good as the first one.
But it's there. Like, it's still, like... And that's the thing I liked, is that this isn't like... Oh, I remember that from the first... Like, this wasn't fan service-gasm.
Oh, not at all. That's... Okay, let's give it major props for that. This did not... It was not just a circle jerk to the original movie, which is nice.
There's one line that's a throw... Like, it's a nod to the original, and that's it. And it's not even a complete, like, re-utterance of the exact line.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But even then, it's kind of like, if you haven't seen the original,
right,
you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that is the line that they say. But
it's not like even though I like the new Halloween, like, Jesus Christ, some of the things, I've seen the first one.
She looked out the window and he's there. Oh my God, no, she's there. And that's a good movie. And
which begs the question, why the hell couldn't this have been an original movie?
Yes.
You literally needed to change about 2 more things, and it basically was. Change the names of the characters, change Chucky's name, and change his design a little more, and you have an original movie, essentially.
Yes. It's a weird zone that I find myself in, because, like, I do appreciate that they didn't completely remake the movie. Because I don't know if I would have liked that. It would have been, like, maybe not, like, so much like Gus Van Sant's Psycho, but, like, why the fuck would I need to see a shot-for-shot remake of Child's Play? It already exists.
Right. And so, that was one big point I had, is that really this should have been an original movie. Chucky's character is very different.
Very different.
In a lot of ways.
Likable.
I was going to say, what's the weirdest thing about this movie that I would have never guessed in a million years, that I would say, the sense, Chucky's almost sympathetic.
Yeah.
Because you know what I felt was very strange about this? He's an AI, but when this AI malfunctions, it has consequences. And I thought, this is kind of like an actual person almost.
Well,
or it's in a different way than Charles Lee Ray.
Yeah.
In the original series is legitimately a person in a doll's body. But it was almost like, what else can do this? I was trying to compare Chucky to something. I'm like, what else could possibly hurt you that's not really a human? I thought, I guess like a pet maybe?
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic completely between Chucky and Andy.
Yeah, no, that has definitely also changed. Like, Chucky's motives come from a inherently good place,
right?
As opposed to Charles Lee Ray, who literally he wants to just kill Andy because he wants his soul. He wants to be able to.
He directly wants something from Andy.
Yeah, this one it's different. Chucky wants something good for the most part, but goes about it in the wrong ways, and that is completely different thing from the original Child's Play. But again, for me, what remained true to the original Child's Play was, I think, a lot of the intangibles, like the spirit and like the humor and the soul of this movie is very cheeky and like kind of it bridges that gap between like, is this an action movie? Like the way the first Child's Play did it. It felt different in terms of story and in terms of character from the original Child's Play, but as like a spiritual successor, I'm like, this is. Yeah, no, it definitely had some of those vibes, especially the humor. This movie was a lot funnier than I ever imagined it was going to be. Audience had a blast at my screen.
Yeah, I was going to say that this got a very positive reaction out of my audience as well.
Couple of real banger lines that I was like, caught me off guard. Like, that's fucking hilarious.
Well, and let's just get to the chase with that. that was in no small part because of Mark Hamill.
Excellent job. Great casting choice. Great pull. I thought that all the things that we spoke to about Chucky's character being different but good, again, like you said, thanks in no small part to just Mark Hamill's performance overall.
Yeah, he nailed it. Though I thought there were some performances where I was kind of surprised. There were a couple that I thought were a little bit weak. I didn't really think Aubrey Plaza was all that great, if I'm being honest.
Kind of agree with you there. It felt like she was just kind of playing her normal Aubrey Plaza, like, not about this attitude.
And it didn't fit, and there's actually kind of a crucial part in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's early on, and we'll get into that in just a second in spoilers, where I thought, that's real fucking lazy. That's your explanation kind of deal.
She also just, like, and I don't know if this is the performance or how the characters are written, but Karen Barkley is just, like, you get the sense that, like, and obviously maybe this world's just more crap-sacky.
Yeah.
But, like, she's not a great mom.
Yeah, I kind of got that vibe. And I also got that, I got the same thing from Brian Tyree Henry. Like, this guy is a shitty detective.
Well, I at least liked his performance because, like,
I thought his performance was all right. I thought the character was just inconsistent.
Right. I just thought the dude, he's a great actor, and I thought in every role the dude exudes cool. Like, he's just like, he's a charismatic guy.
Right.
I like the main kid too.
Yeah, I was gonna say the kid is really good, and I think his friends are pretty solid too.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, so we want to move on to spoilers.
Let's do it.
Okay. If you fucking ever talked back to a customer like that, like Karen Barkley does, you'd be fucking fired.
Oh,
I'm sorry to bring into
scene.
Like little nitpicks. But it's like you can't. Yeah, the guy's like, I don't want the fucking ginger doll.
Yeah.
Well, if you just look through the window, you can see it's blonde. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Also, it's like if she says it under her breath. Like, after he leaves, she'd be a little more sympathetic of a character. Mm-hmm. And the thing I was talking about, where I said, really, that's bullshit, what that was referring to is, I thought it'd be funny.
With
how she buys Chucky.
Yeah.
Give me a goddamn break. That's what I meant by the story was good, but there's little, like, nuts and bolts things with the screenplay that just came across as really goddamn lazy. There's another one like that. When Omar gets Chucky, someone left this on my doorstep. Didn't question it.
Yeah.
It's like, I hope there... It's like, I figured, no, there probably isn't anthrax or a bomb inside of it. Fuck it. People always leave dolls, creepy-ass dolls, on the front porch. Mm-hmm. And also, Mike Norris in this is a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. Now, wait a minute. It takes him to, like, the second act turning point to finally arrest Andy. Mm-hmm. Not even, like, really question him. Mm-hmm. Well, they question Karen, but I don't think they question him.
No.
Which is ludicrous, because it'd be like, first question, were there disagreements at home? Mm-hmm. Were there disagreements between Andy and the boyfriend?
Right. Yeah. It also kind of plays the whole dynamic of, and this is where I think I sympathize with what you were saying, like, the whole dynamic of Chucky feasibly killing people isn't as unbelievable in this world as it is in the 1988 one.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, don't be crazy, Andy. Chucky is a toy that can walk by itself and function like a fucking person.
Yeah.
Andy, you're just making up stories. Yeah, you're right. That's what I mean. There were certain things that felt lazier. Mm-hmm. And I think overall it still worked.
Yeah, I think a lot of that came from just the fact that it, like I think we were talking about, it's, for the most part, technically speaking, really solid. It looks really good.
Oh, speaking of technically, yeah, the cinematography was crazy good in this.
Oh, yeah.
A
lot of long hallways.
Long hallways, the eeriness of the atmosphere.
Good color work.
Even they chose, shout out to the location scout.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
for real,
everything looked good. No, but the overall idea of this AI thing was really well done because, as we all know, or maybe you don't know, so it starts off there in the factory in Vietnam.
Yeah.
And this guy hates his life, and the rich asshole boss is yelling at him and smacking him and says, you know what, fuck this, I'm outie. I'm taking off all the safety protocols.
Which I have clearance to do.
Yeah. It's like, so don't fuck with people who can turn your toys into killers.
That's the thing that cracked me up, too, is like, violence protocols enabled. I'm like, that's in that? Who the fuck programmed that into Chucky? And
well, they probably have to, because if it can learn, it could learn That's the whole thing.
Yeah. So it's like, what's going on at Caslin Corp?
That's another good... See, you know what this movie did, though? That did really right, and this is kind of getting ahead of myself. That when it comes to sequels, they're not like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, post-credit scene. I mean, they kind of have one, but it really doesn't count.
No, it doesn't push the... It doesn't really push the envelope. It's like your stereotypical horror ending.
Yeah. It's just like a laugh, a sound, a this or that. In this case, it's a wonderful little song.
Oh, man.
That's what I was telling you about a week ago when I was whistling that, and I couldn't tell you what it was. I didn't want to ruin it.
It's a good one.
Yeah, the Buddy song. I was a big fan of the Buddy song. But that was an interesting thing is... I like how, without being too technology man, this movie made a good point. It said, yeah, we all have phones and shit like that. We're not just, it's not like anti-technology, but I think it did a really good job speaking to the over-reliance. Oh, I got my Caslin car to take me to bingo.
Yeah.
Oh, I can have my Caslin turn up and down the thermostat. I just have everything connected to it through Bluetooth.
Right.
I feel like if you're an old person who just hates cell phones and technology, you might love this movie.
You could.
God, kill them, Chucky. Tell them how fucking stupid they are. They should use typewriters like me.
Teach them a lesson.
Yeah, teach them a lesson. Yeah, back in my day, when you're pissed off, you wrote a letter.
Yeah.
You sent it in the mail.
Let's talk about the look of Chucky and the puppeteer work.
Top notch. The puppeteer work.
Yeah?
I thought it looked fine.
I thought it varied between...
Well, okay, it varied when there's a CGI shot at the very end that was not good.
Yeah, but this is where I lost a little bit of the intention, is like, is he supposed to look bad?
I think...
is his mouth supposed to be like, hi, my name is Chucky. It's like... Because obviously in the original, he's like a person and he like talks. And like this one, he's a robot. But like a lot of the face looks fucking weird. And I think that's the point.
I think it's supposed to look a little weird and off-putting because it's like, this is very fucking crazy that anyone would give a child this.
Yeah, but then again, I also think that like maybe we're just excusing them not having enough money to put into fucking puppeteering and like design shit because they only made this for $10 million.
Okay, cut them some goddamn slack. For $10 million, this looks pretty good.
As I said, it varies. It varies between looking fine and sometimes really not great. But I will say at a point, I got used to it.
Yeah,
I got used to. I'm like, all right, this is just how Chucky's gonna look, dude. There were times where I'm like, this makes the '88 movie look like fucking Jurassic Park compared to like some like Ray Harryhausen shit. Like the '88 movie, I'm like, no, the '88 Chucky movie did this. Like they had a scene like this and like they did it better. Or like the facial shit just looked better.
Oh no, the facial shit was definitely better. But let's just give it the excuse because god damn it, I can't believe here I am defending this movie. And you know what the weird thing was? I was reading a lot of reviews and a bunch of the negative ones, all they kept saying was, well, when the original one, Chucky was more like... It's like, look, if you look at this as its own movie, it's good. It's entertaining. There are certain things about the original one that are obviously better, and I think the original one is a way better movie in general.
Sure.
But if this is operating autonomously, if you will, this is a good movie. And speaking of things they did well... the dynamic between Chucky and Andy. The main difference here is, obviously, Chucky, he's like a little kid. He's like a toddler. He's just learning. He's trying to be fun and have fun and be happy.
He wants to protect Andy. He wants to make Andy happy.
And the funny part about that is his motivation is completely changed. He goes from... In the first one, as you said, he's a person who needs Andy's soul. So he needs to kill Andy, essentially.
Right.
Or, not kill him, but transfer his soul into his body. But in this, his motivation is sour grapes. He's just salty as fuck. Because Andy decides that he likes his real friends better.
Yeah,
By the way, good message.
Oh, yeah.
Real friends.
True.
So all of a sudden, Chucky's like, you know what? Fuck you, Andy. If I can't have you, no one can. He just becomes a jealous little bitch.
He does. I mean, it's true.
He gets all mad.
And that dynamic is it works, and it makes for a couple of scenes that are really fun and really like, no, that would happen in this misunderstanding of a scene.
You know what? The one scene I loved where Chucky turns on all the screens in the store. Mm-hmm. Oh, no. He's talking to him. He's right there in front of him. Mm-hmm. But now he's Chode or whatever Omar renamed him.
Chode.
Yeah. And then he's like, well, fuck you. And he's like, I'll kill you. Like they're having that, what do you call that? Like when they have those it's like they have these in spy movies all the time where the bad guy and the good guy are meeting in like a weird public setting and they can't really do anything about it right then and there. Mm-hmm. So I love that dynamic. And then, of course, Andy goes berserk and gets in a fight with Omar, and shit really seems like it's hitting the fan.
Speaking of violence.
Oh, boy.
And new paragraph. Let's talk about some of the kills in this.
Ooh.
And may I start by saying, this is for Tupac.
Oh, my God. I loved that.
That was a line that caught me off guard. I'm like, wow, that's funny.
It's funny, and it's just, wow, is Chucky creepy in a different way.
Creepy in that he's just like he's just a really strong kid that like is like, you're like, no, idiot, this isn't how people work.
Yeah.
Stop killing me.
he Chucky almost reminded me of a robot toddler version of Lou Bloom from Nightcrawler.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, you don't get people, man. Mm-hmm. Like, I love this scene. It's so weird. I love the first scene where it occurs to you that Chucky is capable of violence.
Oh, the cat scene?
Oh, yeah. But then also the other scene where he's completely capable of understanding monkey see, monkey do, and misinterpreting.
The Texas Chainsaw scene?
Yes. Mm-hmm. That was another great scene because all of a sudden you see Chucky accidentally cuts him. It's like, fuck. Mm-hmm. You're like, whoa. This is not just... That's your first awakening. I mean, we already know because we saw the safety protocols being shut off, but that's your first moment where you say, oh, shit. Mm-hmm. So it is definitely more than just a toy.
Well, it makes sense as a scene dynamic because he's like, oh, okay, so violence is a good thing. It makes people laugh.
Yeah, it makes them happy. Mm-hmm. And it's
machine learning, man.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Violence makes happy. Get knife, stab, make happy.
If still alive, then stab more.
Must make happy. Yeah. Chunk. Not happy enough. Chunk.
It's different from 88 Child's Play, but it's effective.
Yeah, and you want to know what the other thing is? In a similar, but also in a different way from 88 Child's Play, is the idea that it's right in front of your face what's horrible and scary about this thing. Obviously, in Chucky, it's, oh, he's just a doll in the first one.
Right.
In this, it's, he's just a robot, but there's some unsettling things about him. You want to know what's honestly one of my favorite little subtle things? The look Andy gives him when he's saying, let's scare my my mom's boyfriend. He's such a jerk. Now gnarl your teeth. It's like, yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. That's like a little too good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. You get the idea. If he can make a face like this, what the fuck else is wrong with him?
Right.
You know, it's like he's doing this too well. Mm-hmm. Like, and that it's like it's a great foreshadowing. Like, this little dude is scary.
Yeah,
perhaps a little too scary. Yeah,
he's a little engine that can.
He's boy is he ever. The Caslin car thing. You know what the other thing that they did well is. I was worried from the second trailer. Oh, he's just going to kill them using technology. No, he's still right in your face.
Yeah, no, he does.
You know, because they combine them. That's what makes it awesome. Mm-hmm. So, like when he gets sent down the garbage dump.
Yeah, and the janitor.
Yeah, when he's working on him, and then he's hanging onto the pipe.
Oof.
So Chucky turns up the heat, but he doesn't turn up the heat just to have him melt or whatever. He turns up the heat so he can fall to the ground and then stab him.
Yeah.
That's what made Chucky's just a vicious little bastard. So that hasn't changed about Chucky.
That's true. Yeah. Falls right onto a table saw.
Also, another interesting thing, the scene right before that, Did you weirdly feel sad in that scene?
Which one?
Stop it! No. When they're taking out his core.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
Like,
they hit him with like a weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, you're like, what? And then you're thinking to yourself like, well, what the fuck? This isn't a person.
Yeah, no.
And then I thought, but what is human? I'm like, am I having a fucking
existential crisis?
Like, am I discussing philosophical musings of what makes a human during a goddamn Child's Play movie?
It's Mark Hamill, man.
Yeah, dude. He really brought Chucky to life. I know that's kind of a cliche, but
it's true.
It is weird how, even though it's weird how well this movie handled the concept of AI. Mm-hmm. When I thought it was totally going to be technology, man, but it wasn't. It was actually very interesting.
Yeah, very nuanced.
Right. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, the music. I know we talked about the music, like the song that they used, but Bear McCreary's score, real
killed
fun.
It, man.
Yeah, a lot of music box stuff.
Score. Yeah, I really liked the score, and it was one of those things. God damn, it's just so hard not to, not compare it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in comparison to the original score, mm-hmm. it was a good way to be like, yeah, it's similar, and that has the wind-up toy kind of weird, unconventional instruments,
right?
But in his own way.
Right.
Thought the score was really, really solid.
You can tell he had a lot of fun with it.
So let's talk about the third act a bit.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
However, the toy store freakout, mm-hmm. I felt like I was a little let down. I thought there should have been more Chuckies.
Yeah?
Which, I'm being a huge hypocrite jackass because I said, nah, fuck that. Don't turn this into a zombie movie or Gremlins. But because they set it up so well, and that ominous time to play and all that shit, then all of a sudden, Andy kind of has this, I told you assholes moment.
Yeah.
They only show about 3 or 4 other dolls, really. Mm-hmm. And they're mostly the bear Chuckies.
The bear Chucky.
which I love how they're programmed to be stronger than the regular Chuckies.
That's so crazy, because it's a fucking bear. It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Right.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, it's crazy. That ending scene is there's a lot going on. I love the setup for it. I love the dude.
Yeah,
the big head.
Right? Oh, you mean he's just like bleeding out.
Oh, poor guy. And then he gets fucking rammed by the drone.
Right?
Same fucking guy. This is it's a fun conclusion. What did you think of the very, very end?
There's one part that I liked, and I actually wrote a note down specifically of this. Mm-hmm. Andy pulls a Demolition Man.
How so?
So, in Demolition Man, at the sort of the end of the movie, John Spartan and whatever Sandra Bullock's character's name is, so they get the best of a few baddies, but then he does the knockout stick and leaves her hanging. Like, all right, you made it this far, but I gotta handle the rest on my own. Mm-hmm. Andy pulls a Demolition Man. He doesn't zap his friends unconscious, but he does leave them on the other side of the metal door closing on the store.
Right.
He said, no, fuck this. I gotta do this myself. Mm. And I really think, for whatever reason, that was the right choice.
Yeah, it was.
To make it scarier. It's Andy's conflict to solve.
Yeah, I agree.
And what I liked was it actually changed something that I thought was going to happen based on the trailer. And then I thought, oh, God, all 4 of these kids are going to come in and just, turn it into an action movie where it's just like Zack Snyder slow-mo. They're just cutting Chuckies in half and shit. It was much better. Chucky, you and me, motherfucker, let's handle this.
Yeah. That whole endings, or that whole scene where that you see in the trailer, they're going to town and I'm like the fucking printer from Office Space. It's really just the ending,
right? Which I thought
it's like
was
an epilogue.
Great. Yeah, it's an epilogue where they just finally destroy the dollar, so they think.
Yeah, we think.
Yeah, okay. That final confrontation, Chucky's red eyes glowing with anger. Love the red eyes in general. I just thought that was a good motif, if you will. Mm-hmm. That whole ending was pretty crazy, though.
Brian Tyree Henry gets to utter the line from the original.
This is the end.
But he doesn't say friend.
Oh, right.
But I was like, okay.
All right. See, that got out of a few people in my theater.
I was just happy that he didn't go out like a punk. I'm like, oh, come on. He can't
true.
He can't get throated by a fucking drone. No, he doesn't get the final blow on Chucky, but he shoots him, and then Aubrey Plaza
just
rips
his head
off.
off. Yeah. All of a sudden, she turns into a mama blue jay.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
She doesn't
okay.
fuck around.
All right, then.
Yeah. I thought it was great how MGM just was like, quick, what else do we own? Let's get a Easter egg in there.
Yeah.
Dead or alive, kid, you're coming with me.
Yeah. RoboCop.
Yeah, man. But it was great how Chucky could be everywhere, be in his ear directly.
Yeah, I like that too.
Everything he can connect to.
Literally in his head.
That's what I'm saying is so fucking scary, is the idea everything's completely connected. It's all there.
And the scarier thing is that we liked this movie.
That really freaks me out.
Yeah.
Here I am defending this when people were, bashing on it.
Yeah, this is a good film. What do you think? Moving on to scores?
Yeah, let's move on to scores.
I really like this. I didn't expect this to be as good as it ended up being.
Wait a minute, I forgot there's one huge plot hole.
Who dat?
Well, it's the phone thing. They're like, oh, Andy, I don't believe you. We're not even going to look at the phone. It's like, look, asshole, I will show you.
Yeah.
This thing has recorded everything he's fucking done.
Yeah, I have video evidence.
That is a pretty sizable plot hole.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's like, they don't explain it away, but it's like they connect it to Andy's phone, which is like broken or whatever.
Yeah,
like,
okay. So I guess
it's like,
it's a little bit of a cop-out, but
yeah,
I felt like it was a major plot hole.
Yeah, it's definitely a something that needed to be smoothed out. But no, I really enjoyed this. I had a great time with it, if anything. It's not amazing. Like, it's definitely not as good as the original, but as a reinterpretation of the 88 Tom Holland, not Spider-Man classic, it's real solid. I'd give it a 7.
7?
And that's like, look, this is a horror remake like post 2010s.
Yeah.
This is probably not going to be amazing, but it wasn't. Or it wasn't not amazing. It was good.
Yeah.
Very, very solid.
I thought it was a real fun time, and I'd actually give it the same score, but at my version, 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Mostly because there are a couple weak character performances I couldn't really forgive.
Sure.
And there was a couple major plot holes. But overall, I was very entertained, and it was a good time. So 3 out of 5 from me, and a 7 from you.
Were you 3 out of 5 or 3.5?
Sorry, 3.5.
Okay, that brings us to a grand total of 10.5 out of 15.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad at all.
Well done, Chucky. You done good. So that'll do it for our review of Toys Ruining Your Life.